set up an employment contract where you might have the same field like employee name throughout the document multiple times. So every time you have a new employee, instead of having to type that in yourself throughout the document, you can just do it once. This can also work not just with the name, but anything. Let's say there's a mention of a specific location that is specific to the employee throughout the document. So instead of typing it in yourself, 6 or 8 times, you can use a smart form for that. So I'll show you how to set up a combination of a smart form and a template together so that we can see the button fill and sign. So the first thing, we obviously have to upload our contract in here, which I already did. I clicked on upload folders of files. I browsed my computer to find the file, then I clicked upload. It uploaded, then I clicked return, and now I'm here. So the first step is, while we're in our documents here, my documents on the left, click on the employment contract template. It will open up the editor. Now, you can do this before you upload the document. I'll just do it right in our editor in case you forgot. So what you can do is, throughout the document, you might have these underscores, right? So I'll just delete them, and I'll say double bracket day. And then we can also have a month. And this also says a year here with some underscores, which doesn't really look all that good. So I'll just say this is year. And let's say we have the employee name throughout the document multiple times mentioned, right? So I will just put it somewhere here, employee name. Now, this doesn't, like what I have here inside the brackets doesn't have to be, always the same, right? But if inside our form we'll have employee name, we have to remember what it is for us to fill out. So now I can copy this value and paste it somewhere here, so that we can just fill it out once and it will be replicated throughout the entire document. So it's pretty simple. Then here, employee signature, date, company official signature, all of this we can do later when we're setting up the actual e-signature part. So now we're all done. You could obviously do this for hourly wage that you have to type in instead of actually editing the document and other things. But for me, this is just enough right now, and I'll show you what we'll do next. So now don't forget to save it. So obviously we have to save the document before we proceed. So the document was saved. Perfect. Now let's click on prepare to sign and actually add our signers. We have 2 signers. The one is employee, and I don't know yet the employee name because I'm just making the template right now. And I don't really know what the employee email is going to be either. So I'm just going to type in something generic. And by default, I'll always want to invite employee to sign via text. If you don't, then don't check that box. Right, so then we're going to have the phone number of the employee, and then, but the hiring manager who signs at the end is always the same. So we know the boss name, right? So you can always keep it here, and we know the boss email. Now we also know the boss's phone number. It's always the same. So we'll alert the boss every time there is something for him or her to sign. Okay, that's very important. Now, the next thing we have to check is assign signer order, because if we don't, both of those people will receive an invitation to sign the document. In our case, we first want the employee to sign it, then the boss. Okay, so that's the workflow. Now, I don't have to do anything else. I'll just click on prepare signatures. And the only thing that we have left is to place the signature fields for both the prospective employee and the boss. Our signature fields here are all the way at the bottom, and we have the date fields as well. Now, first you have to select the signer on the right. By default, the first signer is selected, which is the employee. So I'll drag off the employee signature, and I'll make it a bit bigger, maybe size 25 or so. I'll expand it, and I'll keep it here. I would probably reposition it a little bit, and then we'll also have the date field over here. Then now we have to select the boss. On the right here, select a signer, and then we'll also drag off the signature like this. Select the size. Again, I selected 25. You can do whatever size you want. This will just make the signature look a bit bigger. Now you do have control here as to what the size of each signature is, text, and so on. So now as you see, in yellow, we have the employee. the date will be automatically selected, and for the boss, the same thing. It's in green. So these are the control fields for them. You can customize your message because this message will be saved as part of the template. Don't select the due date because, again, this will be part of the template as well, and select the sender. So this might be your company name, might be your personal name. If you do not put in anything in here, it will just send it from your personal name. So companies that are sending something on behalf of the company obviously would have to type in their name in here, and you can use this by default. So instead of hitting send, this was just a template that we're setting up. So all these controls will be saved, the positioning of all these fields will be saved, and we will not have to do this again. We only have to do this once. So now we're going to hit Save to Templates. Now the template was created, and we can go to Templates. One last step is to actually save this whole thing not only as a template, but also a smart form that would allow us to fill it out first and then send it for e-signature. So click on the employment contract, just on its name, and then hit Save as Smart Form. Perfect. So after we did that, if we go back, we'll have a new option available for this document. This will not only be a template anymore, this will now be a fillable form that we can send out for e-signature. So click on Fill and Sign, and when you do that, you will see the form that was created based on those fields that we put in inside the document. Remember the brackets and whatever we had inside the brackets is now day, month, year, and employee name. So let's type in day. It might be 02, July, depending on your formatting, 2022, and employee name, which could be John, by the way. One thing to note is that this will now be a natural part of the document. This will not be like an addition or an override on top of the document. This will be native text inside the document. Now, in this case, today, we know what the employee is because we're actually using this form. So now we can type in employee name because we actually know what that is. And we now also know what the actual account is, the email account is, and we know their phone number. This information did not change about the boss, so that stays the same. And we can simply click Prepare Signatures. Now, when we click on Prepare Signatures, the information that we filled out in the form will also be populated inside the document, so we don't have to retype everything again. As you see, the 2nd of July of the year 2022 looks native to the document. It doesn't look like somebody placed something on top of it, right? And then if we go and find the employee name, you see John, by the way, here at the end. Then I think we put the employee name somewhere else here, also John, by the way, in this paragraph, and John, by the way. Now, perfect. We're not going to change any fields. This is all good. Our message stayed the same. Our company name stayed the same. We're now ready to send this. Once you hit send, the employee will receive the email invite